Welcome back, my friends, to It's Vinylly Mine. So glad you could join us today for our Patreon pick. Yes, our Patreon pick. This film today that we're talking about isn't just a Patreon pick that someone voted on. No. This was one that I was actually brought attention to that was at Goodwill. And today we are looking at The Pirate Movie. Not quite so well received, very Razzie Award winning musical that is a parody / homage to Gilbert and Sullivan's Pirate of Penzance. Now, the version we're going to look at today is the Canadian release, so it is put on Polymore Records, PD 29503. And yes, it stars the guy who you saw in Blue Lagoon, who doesn't seem to be able to get a role where he can keep his shirt on. This soundtrack, when it was released in 1982 of August, it was released on vinyl and cassette. It did reach 166 on the American Billboard 200, while the single on here, How Can I Live Without Her, peaked at number 71 on the Billboard Hot 100. So, not exactly a hot album, but an interesting one, and so we're going to take a look at it today. So enough of me rambling, let's drop the needle and take a closer look at this Gatefold LP. So here we are with the Pirate Movie. It's got the logo on top and our two stars. Christy McNichol actually, titled first, and then Christopher Atkins, who was in Blue Lagoon, titled underneath. I love this cover. It's got a lot going on in here, really capturing the pirate spirit of the musical. That it was actually a Broadway, I guess, play, and then it came to be a film version of it. And so, yeah, you got a lot going on. You got your stereotypical pirate stuff going on, but wait, what? You got Keystone Cops in here? It actually spans a couple different years in this movie, so I thought that was interesting as well. Love this artwork, though. We got our stars in here wrapped in the pirate flag. Arr, I love that. And yeah, there's just a whole lot on this cover, but it looks fun. I look at this cover and I smile. It's just like, I mean, and not just because our key folks are smiling on there, but it makes me smile. It's a happy cover, and yes, we've got the Polydor logo in the lower right. On the back, we have a still still from the film here. Start with our two stars on here as well. We've got the credits underneath for the production of the record, as well as the film credits on here, and the 20th Century Fox logo, because it was released by them. Unfortunately, this version that I got from Goodwill, it did have some stuff on the cover. I was able to peel it off, basically gum, of all things. Never know what you might find at Goodwill. So I got it out. So there is some discoloration here, unfortunately. But overall, the vinyl, the sleeve is still intact. Of course, up here, we have our track listings. It's a 2 LP set because there's a lot of music in this musical, which I do appreciate, even if the music isn't always the best. Well, hey, and it's more disco-y, light, like we've heard in Xanadu type of style of musical, or The Apple. So it's got that vibe to it, that sound to it, that disco sound to it here. But yeah, side 1, 2, we got a couple of tracks here from bands. Kool and the Gang do a track on here, Stand Up and Sing, and 3 and 4. So yeah, so a basic back cover here, though I do like the still that they picked. Now inside the cover, hey, look at that. We got all kinds of stills from the movie in here. It just to bring back memories of the zaniness that is this musical, whether or not you think it deserved the Razzie Awards or it's so bad it's good film. Well, looking at these photos will definitely bring back some memories. And then on here, we have the track listings again with the who performed the tracks, as well as the copyrights and other information on here. So, yeah, I like the gatefold. I like that they picked these photos, and the photos that they do pick are very entertaining. So, yeah, and on this backing here of like old parchment type burnt paper like we've seen in Pirates movies, so I appreciate that. It all has that feel of a pirate film. Now, unfortunately, this did not have any sleeves for the records. So I actually just got some. My wife got me sleeves for my birthday, and so I will definitely be putting it in here. But here we have the basic label, which you can almost see on here. The print is rather faded on it, but Polydor Records. This one, a record 2 side 3 and a record 2 side 4. So it's interesting that they labeled the sides 1 through 4, but they with across the records rather than a record 2 side 1 and 2. So I thought that was very interesting on how they labeled those as well. So yeah, the record is in fairly good condition. We'll see how this Goodwill find goes, and then I will be back with my thoughts on a couple of my favorite tracks and maybe one or other 2 tidbits about this soundtrack. So keep it here.
Hey, all my friends out there, if you haven't heard, there's a new radio station in town, at least over on Live 365. Yes, that's right, SMP Radio is on the air. There, we're hoping to bring you some very interesting content that we hope you will enjoy. And we would like to keep that radio station going, but we can only do it with your help. So head on over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/specialmarkproductions, where you can join the top tier and support one of the 3 programs we will have on that radio station, or just support the station in general with our friends of SMP Radio. Not only will you get a chance to promote your items on our radio station, but you'll also get access to all the great content, including a poll for It's Vinylly Mine, where you can choose what we review here on It's Vinylly Mine show on YouTube. So a lot of great perks. Head on over there for more details, and we hope to see you soon.
SMP Radio, more exciting than NPR.
Yes, my friends, we are back here, and it's a fun soundtrack. It's an interesting one, for sure. Definitely is a period of its time, or an example of its time, a window into that period of time, for sure. Pardon my words. But still, interesting music, especially if you like the style of disco type sounds to it. Now, of course, I do enjoy the Kool and the Gang song, Stand Up and Sing, but probably 2 of my favorites on here are the opening song, Victory. It just sets the tone for the whole soundtrack and the play as well, with the pirates and the cast singing, and just, you know what you're getting into with that opening song, and I do really enjoy it quite a bit, and I thought it was a great way to open this. Also an enjoyable one, and of course has a little bit of it's got a little bit more subtlety to it maybe than I'm Coming from the Apple, but we do have Pumpin' and Blowin', sung by Christy McNichol, and that is a fun song as well. And they do have, since this was a send-up / parody / homage, whatever you want to call it, to Pirates of the Penzance, of course the pirate movie has its own version of Modern Major General, performed wonderfully by Bill Kerr and the cast. He pulls this off very well. If you've never seen a Gilbert and Sullivan musical, you should. I got to see The Mikado many, many years ago at the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee. My dad took me to it, and let me tell you, it was fun, and they even updated a couple of the Gilbert and Sullivan songs in there, giving a joke about the Packers, who at the time, you were happy if they won a game. I just fond memories of Gilbert and Sullivan musicals, and of course, they have one here. So, yeah, I mean, the pirate movie, folks, there you have it. Not a whole lot to this release, but an interesting soundtrack to an interesting film. If you're looking for oddball musicals, I suggest you check out this musical, because, yeah, if anything, it may bring a smile to your face, either you saying, oh, man, is this bad? Or, man, I had a lot of fun with it. Either way, I'm sure you'll be entertained. So thank you so much for watching. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. And word is SMP Radio. Yes, that's right. There's going to be a radio station, Live 365 SMP Radio. Officially will be launching August 1st. I don't know how long we're going to be doing it for, but some of the programming that I've got planned is playing tracks from the albums that we have covered here on It's Vinylly Mine so far, as well as the new episodes as well. So you'll want to check that out. Please check out our Patreon and all these things if you want to decide what we review here on It's Vinylly Mine. I'd love to see your votes there. I thank you for your support, and remember, it's not yours, it's Vinylly Mine, and I'll catch you on the flip side.